live from the HYR Studios, Honda Yamaha Redlands would like you to go on a local adventure. That means get on your bike and ride, bitch. It's the Big 49 in HD streams. All right, it is the Moto Show here Saturdays at noon. You can call us 866-49-BIG-49, and Moto Man is in the house along with Jason from HYR and Bookie Kyle from the LBZ family.
We're actually sitting in here stretched with, like, I have knee braces and boots on, like all the gear.
Are you guys just going to go ride as soon as we're done, jump back on the bikes and go ride some more?
You got it.
You're interrupting our ride.
I'm gonna call the police.
Of course you will.
I have a radio station up here. It's a business. I'm trying to work. These idiots are out here riding motorcycles. Here is something, too. Another guy that got hurt. We always talk about, as we build up to Supercross, always a few guys go down. We already had Carson Mumford is down with the broken wrist. We had the horrible one with Brandon Hartnaff with the spinal injury.
Yeah.
And Garrett Marchbanks is now down. And another broken wrist. They say dislocated, and I saw pictures of it. He's already had surgery, and there's 3 different places where they cut him and stapled him up.
Wow.
So it's a pretty gnarly one. But they all take it with a grain of salt, literally. Marchbanks is like, hey, I'm healing up. And the cool news is he's racing 250s for the, Club MX Muck-Off team.
Yep.
So he's just going to switch to the East and try to race the full season of the East. That's the cool thing about Supercross with 250 riders.
Yeah.
You can move your start date
I got
later.
a local friend, man, just local Beaumont kid, broke his back here a week ago.
Oh.
Damn.
So it happens, bro. It
Yeah.
happens. Like,
Yeah.
all he did was go out there for the first 5 minutes, kind of hit a little jump, went over the bars, bike came over and got him.
Oh, man.
Schmidt.
Okay.
Wow.
Man, cool.
Dude, how many times has that happened? By the way, I grew up
Warm
in
up your bike and stuff like that, you know?
But, dude,
Yeah.
I grew up in Downey, which is not close to any riding at all. There's no riding. You got to go all the way out to the IE somewhere to ride. And I went way out, and we drove. It took us like 2 hours in traffic to get out to ride. And we were literally unloading the truck, and our one friend got his bike off first, started it, and started blasting around. And before we got the other bikes out of the truck, he had already broken his collarbone, and we had to leave.
Oh, jeez.
I'm like, are you serious?
Yeah, that's.
And then you're
And he-
pissed because you didn't
Yeah,
ride
you're
right.
pissed.
It's like,
No,
dude.
the whole day's gone, and we got to drive his ass back to ER.
Oh, God.
Well, here's the thing. Dumb shittery, as we like to call it, it happens, and it's usually when you get hurt the worst is when you're doing something stupid.
Oh, yeah, or riding a pit bike.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Those things bite.
That's why I said you're new to a playground. Like, we're new to this playground.
Yep.
today,
Yeah.
You know?
Yep. But I'm not. I'm a low stress express. I let everybody work at their own pace and kind of cruise around and just see what's going on. And I don't have any pressure. I'm not like you got to take the track and you got to go in this direction and you got to do this and you got to do that. No,
Got to jump that triple, bro.
Yeah.
no. You just go down and just roll over stuff and see the terrain and see what you like and see what you don't like. And I think that's best for getting prepared for a good ride.
Right.
Keeps it fun.
And like I told you the other day, we should bring you bring the kids over, because this is a great place for kids to ride because it's pretty much there's no stress. There's
So
no
they go off
pressure.
that one cliff we have. We might want to
Well,
put
like
up
the
some
thing is
stanchions.
there's plenty of roads, fire roads, flat roads, round roads. There's all kinds of stuff that kids can do. There aren't. You're next to a cliff, but most kids are smart enough to know, like, I'm not going to go off the cliff.
No, but I can hop on my 450 and go rip up that ridge right there.
Yep.
And
Yeah.
It's
Tear it up.
I mean,
good little trail right around there, you know?
Oh, it's
Yeah.
a great trail. That's a great trail.
There's all levels of riding out here.
Yeah.
I mean, you can get into whatever you want.
Back when I had the lady friend, I wanted to take her.
Did you run the lady friend off?
Lady friend and I, we talked this week. That's a whole other bag of fun there.
Oh, no.
That's a whole other bag of fun. And
Okay.
I did not run the lady friend off. But
Okay, I was thinking you did.
I think somebody Hispanic who's rather overweight that looks like Ron Jeremy probably did.
Oh, no.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, no.
I'm just saying.
That guy's so mad at you.
I don't care. He's a dick. That guy's a dick. Let's just be honest.
Wow.
Let's just call things out for what they are. That guy's a dick.
Oh,
So anyway,
man. She's gone.
Yeah, pretty much. So regardless of that whole situation there, I wanted to teach her how to ride, because I thought that was a good place to learn how to ride, which is just down in the canyon there. But she was like, "Oh no, I don't want it flat, and I may hurt myself, and I don't know." And it's like, well,
take an easy road down.
There's plenty of flat roads going down there. I mean,
It takes you a little while, but you get there.
It takes you a minute,
Riding's not for everybody, bro.
It isn't.
It's not.
It's not.
No.
I talked to a guy yesterday. He's all military. He's got the whole outfit on. He's talking about how he's got a 65 for his boy.
Yep.
And he's jumping big jumps. And he goes, I try and catch a little air, and it scares him,
Yeah.
And
Well, the older you get, too. The older you get,
The more self-preservation becomes a factor.
The reality is this: the bones actually break when you get older. They don't flex around and just bounce and do fun stuff. They actually break, and you got a job, you got a family, you got responsibilities.
Jason.
You can't necessarily.
that's where I
Don't
never.
you remember this, Jason?
Well, responsibilities never got in the way, though, right?
No,
You-
but the
you have your priorities and your responsibilities, of course.
we
but
all have our-
riding. You have to notch that up a little.
Yeah, well, we all have our limit that we go, you know what? I can do a lot of fun, but I'm not going to do this.
Right.
For me, it's the main track at Glen Helen.
Yeah.
I've ridden the main track at Glen Helen. It's a animal freaking track. There's a lot of traffic on it, and there's a lot of crazy people on it. And you've got to basically run with the pack. You got to be in the pack because the pack will run you over.
And that's true when the pack is better equipped at riding than you are.
Yeah.
That's when you'll crash.
And it's just growing up. It's growing
Yeah.
up with your bike. As I grew up,
Yeah.
I would totally just, you take your time.
Right.
I didn't.
Right.
I did the opposite. I was the one that was always hurt and always doing that,
Yeah.
But
Mr. Kamikaze.
right, but I learned somewhere along the line that why am I the one that's always hurt right now?
Because you're the one that's taking the most risk all the
Because
time.
I'm the numbnuts going for sick air.
What
I just
am I-
watched
yeah.
Krusty, dude, with a skull.
Yeah, when you
that's
watch
exactly it.
when you watch a lot of Krusty too, that kind of that can be detrimental to your health.
And that did it.
Yeah.
Or Chrome and
You know?
Rechrome from LBA.
Well, by the
that
way,
did it,
dude,
All
there's
those.
these
John
little
Sirica, bro. I remember
Yeah,
those.
Sarika.
there's little kids that used to live across the street from me that I've known since they were born, and they loved Jackass when they were little. They
Oh,
would watch
gee whiz.
Jackass, and so they would get on their bicycles, and I live on a hill, obviously a
Yes,
concrete effing hill.
Yes, you do.
So this dude goes flying. He would go stretch, watch this if he'd see me out front, and he would ride down the sidewalk, and then he would jump off of his bicycle on the sidewalk and just roll on the ground, boom, 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 and then he would stand up and go Jackass, yeah! And I was like, oh my god, he's
until he
gonna
gets-
break his neck.
Until he gets douched by a sprinkler, and that's gonna suck.
Oh, dude, he ended up with a broken wrist at one point, a broken this. That kid was always banged up because he wanted
Yeah.
to be Jackass so bad.
Yeah.
Yeah, well,
That's like you guys in Krusty Demons of Dirt.
Yeah, Krusty was definitely a lot of fun to watch. I enjoyed it. In my youth, I tried to do a lot of the stupid stuff that you would see in that video.
See?
But I didn't have the responsibilities.
Yeah, but you don't have to be the one cartwheeling down the hill. Also,
No.
You
It's fun
know?
just to watch and applaud.
Well, sometimes you can. Well, yeah.
remember-
Or you can jump it.
As you're playing ragdoll in the background.
Yes.
Yeah.
Evil Kid Evil.
Ragdoll!
I remember coming home and I knew I had broken a few ribs out in Beaumont.
Oh yeah.
And my mom saw me kind of grimacing, and I was like,
Kind of
"Ah."
grimacing.
Yeah, I was- you
that's more than just grimacing.
I know,
that's
but I knew Mama Bear was around. And I was gonna get in trouble if she knew I was hurt.
Oh.
So I come out of the shower and I just have a towel around, around my
Bruised up.
waist, and she saw the sticking out of my side, and she was like, "What the bleep?"
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, "Oh yeah, I just went over the handlebars. It was okay."
I feel so bad for my mom.
Oh, yeah.
Like
Cough.
those mom stories like that. I remember
so bad,
walking
dude.
in so bloody one day, and I said, "Mom, I think I'm gonna need your help on this one."
Right.
You know.
Yeah.
Mom, I think I'm gonna need your help on this one.
Yeah.
Dude, a few years or so ago, I was in my backyard, literally not doing anything, and I dropped something. And when I bent down, my wife has these giant cactus everywhere. And when I bent down, one stabbed me in the head. Just nothing major, but it stabbed me in the head. And I'm like, crap. My head bled so bad, it looked like I'd
That's
been
how
hit.
fat guys get
Yeah.
injured right there.
Yeah.
Dude, it looked like I'd been jacked in the head with a hatchet, and all of a sudden blood's going everywhere, and I'm coming up the stairs going, my wife is going to lose it when she sees me, and I'm coming up the stairs going, it looks way worse than it is. I'm okay. I'm
It's all
fine.
right.
Don't freak out. And she's like, what's happening? What are you talking about? Oh, my God.
Mine
Blood
happened because
everywhere.
a motorcycle stretch. Not a cactus.
No. Mine was a cactus that I bent into. It didn't even like. It's not even like I fell into it hiking or something.
Here's
man.
the thing. You want a funny statistic about
Right.
cactus? All right.
I hate cactus. I went up there with a machete and murdered that effort right after that.
Let me explain something about cactus that's interesting because I have friends of mine that are medical ER doctors that see a lot of stuff.
They're
okay.
into aloe veras and all this stuff.
That's what I hit. Were aloe vera plants.
One of the worst injuries that people get regularly hiking. You'd think like hiking. Let's go for a walk. Like, me and a lady friend going out for a walk, maybe have a picnic. Yeah. One of the worst injuries people get is they get spiked in the eye. Out in the middle of nowhere.
Totally could have happened to me. I bent over. I got the head instead of the eye. I'm lucky.
Because of cactus.
Yeah.
They're walking down a trail and there's a cactus arm. Yeah, there's a cactus arm that's like poking out of a trail. You're walking around like a blind turn. And the next thing you know, it's like whack, and you get skewered right in the eye.
So we were talking about running to your mom. Did you run to your mom?
I always ran to. I always ran to my dad.
When the cactus happened.
No. I was at home. I literally walked in the house and got a paper towel and just pushed it on my head till it stopped bleeding. I knew I was fine.
Well, there's certain ones they'll like if you get too close, they'll like, reach out and hit you.
I have a great one.
You know.
Here's a
I
great.
was so scraped up bloody for my throttle sticking wide open on the street. How did it happen to you, Kyle? What happened?
What's that?
When you went and saw mom that day.
Oh, dude, she was pissed. She took my bike away.
Took your bike away.
For a month.
See, that's why you don't say anything.
I tried not to, but she saw the ribs sticking out of my side.
Yeah, you can hide a lot of injuries, but bloody you can't hide.
And
It's
she heard
like,
me walking like,
Yeah.
"Hey, Mom, I'm okay."
See, I got lucky. We have a motorcycle shop. And you can't take a bike away.
Yeah, you can't take the bike
Dude,
away.
It's
at,
It's
at
done
the
deal.
compound, like this was 15 years ago at the Radio Ranch before it was the Radio Ranch. I jumped on Moto Man's stupid ass freaking Honda 70.
The Franken bike.
Yeah, and I was riding, and he was chasing me on a 450, and I turned a corner, and it just washed out, and I fell down. No big deal. I sprained my wrist. My wrist got sprained.
Exactly.
Just going to a turn on the freaking pit bike and
Hasn't rode since.
just falling down. Yeah,
I know he's ridden since.
ridden
Because,
No, I'll ride out there.
I have an exclusive. I got an exclusive video that nobody else has.
Okay.
And this is an interesting video that I'll talk about it, but I may or may not post it at some point. But I have an exclusive video when Stretch brought his brother Buzz,
Oh, God.
and it's Stretch and Buzz
Oh.
at my at the Radio Ranch,
Yeah.
and
Were we fighting?
They're egging each other on. Okay,
Uh-oh.
they're egging each other on because Buzz is convinced that he can go out and ride the 450.
He also thought he could race still.
and he
Remember?
could race.
And Jason should have gave him a bike.
and
Remember, he thought that.
He wanted one.
Yeah.
He was talking.
And
Yeah.
Stretch, of course, was like, I don't think you can do it. And so they egged each other on, and there was a grudge match race
Okay.
between those two.
Like brotherly love.
It was a brotherly love race, but it was a grudge match race around the compound, and it was very interesting because Stretch actually beat his brother Buzz. He actually beat him in a race.
You remember this?
Because Buzz is an
actually
idiot, and he's a fat, out-of-shape lump of turd.
He actually beat his brother Buzz, but his brother Buzz, I will say, whiskey throttle all the way.
Really?
Has literally the only.
All balls, no brains.
So when he starts, he's all the way
Yeah.
wheelie down the start. Huh?
Have you ever heard the term the slower you ride, the faster you go?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
My pop says it all day. You gotta slow down to speed up.
The slow down to speed up, that was Stretch. Okay.
Yeah.
It was Stretch takes the corners, nice and tight and cool, just rolls through. Brother Buzz, wide open, loops it out. Boom. Next thing you know, it's like, and it's always the bike's fault.
He passed me like 9 times.
It was the
lost.
bike's fault. The 2 times that he really had some good little gnarly crashes, the bike had a problem. It wasn't his fault.
Right.
It was the bike's fault.
Oh, he's going to
It
call.
was mine today.
And-
Went
and
into false
He's
neutral,
going to
bro.
call.
And I got a phone call. Well, not I got a phone call, but I got the yelling at like the bike wouldn't have done this if you wouldn't have done this to the bike.
Yeah.
And
he's an expert in all things bike.
I was like, wait a second here, dude.
Yeah.
You and your brother had choosing each other off. I said I would supply the motorcycles.
Right.
And now you're bitching me out.
Now you're bitching me out because you looped it out around a corner, and I had to put new plastics on the Suzuki because you messed it up.
Yeah, it
but
was
you
your
had the
fault.
plastics ready. I know you.
Oh,
And he
dude,
was also
I-
pissed
I
off he
was
didn't have any
I always-
Kawasaki's.
I always have plastics.
He's got-
I got plastics for all the bikes sitting out in the garage.
Sitting in there somewhere.
He's
There.
got parts unlimited in the shop.
I pretty much do. I have a thing about, me and Polysport go way back.
Right, I think so. I
And,
remember that.
and I keep a nice good box of plastics for all the bikes,
Yeah.
freshies, right there, just in case somebody loops something out. And I've got graphics too, and I always come down and talk to you about the graphics because I always want stock graphics.
This guy worries about why. I'm like, hey, put your helmet on, dude.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah,
Because I
exactly.
saw him loop out one day on the driveway, bro.
I did,
Yeah,
I did
just
loop,
going to get the mail.
Just
did-
going to get the mail.
I did loop out on the driveway one day.
That's what we were just talking about, though. When you least expect it, expect
Least
it.
expected.
Yes.
Yeah,
Yep.
least expected, and that one. So the loop out on the driveway. So I took out the 250R that day
Yeah.
to go
I
get
know.
the mail.
That's too much for you. You didn't have. You know what it is? You didn't have the starting blocks.
It wasn't that. It was the neighbor had
That
just
song wasn't going through your head. Huh?
exactly. The neighbor had just put raw asphalt, but no bonding agent.
You got raw dogged by the neighbor.
So you know how
yeah.
you know how like asphalt is really tarry and,
Oh, yeah.
and it's gooey, but
It's a different scrape, bro.
Yeah.
Like, if you scrape on that or scrape,
yeah. So it was raw asphalt.
burns.
It was raw
that's
asphalt,
different, bro.
and it was
You gotta
was
dig
soft.
that out.
Oh, that shit.
It was super soft
When you get the
and it
wire
was
brush
fresh.
out.
And it was about, I would say, it had a good base of about 6.5, 7 inches underneath it.
Solid.
And so I went up the road, and as I was going up the road, I rolled it on like I normally do, just getting a little speed, and that back tire did not break loose at all. It was just like a tractor, and it just said kick, 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 right over on me. Before I could say even go, that bike was cartwheeling on me.
Yeah.
Whoopsie.
Yeah,
That was maybe like the second time I was here, I think.
probably.
One of the
Yeah.
first or second times I was here.
Yeah.
We saw Moto go down.
And I saw Moto go down. And I went, whoa, dude, like, I don't know about this place, bro.
Yeah, I went down pretty good on that. I went
Going
down.
down, going down
You
like
know,
the.
what's going on around this place?
His
All I
own
was doing was
place is
going-
eating them up.
All I was doing is going to get the mail too.
He's just going to get the mail.
I
Yeah.
was just going to get the mail because they have
Next
the
thing you know,
mailboxes
he's
down the
going
road.
down like the hose at Ho Fights.
Yeah, pretty
Yeah.
much.
That's
But,
right.
but,
Base.
Go down.
but I was fine. I was a little scraped up. And the thing also is about with crashing, and this is really critical. You have to know how to crash.
Crash.
There is a way to crash. There's a technique to crashing that can save your life.
Right.
If you ragdoll it, if you go Seth Inslow style and just let it happen, it happens. You will get hurt really bad.
There's no blood in the picture. It's no good, right?
No.
Direct quote.
Yeah.
Seth Rowe.
And I think that's all in the moment, right? In the moment, you got to make a decision.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like you're like this is getting serious now.
Right.
Like you got to make,
Oh yeah. Well, just when I was coming back up that hill that I hadn't done before. I mean, Moto's done it, but I was just like, I already knew where I was gonna dump the bike if it went bad.
Yeah.
You know, I already thought
You're
it
in the
out.
perfect.
You had that
are-
failure option
Yeah,
going.
I'm going to be honest with you, Kyle.
I'm used to eating crap
and
on a
there's
bike.
there's very few places I can tell you, but you are in the Stay Puft Marshmallow Man perfect place to be riding a bike if you haven't ridden a bike in a long time.
Yeah.
That is not packed. It is
No.
not
Well,
hard.
at any
It's-
level.
Yeah.
You
Right.
could be an expert or this
Expert
little,
or just getting back into it, novice, beginner, whatever. You can just get into it on those hills, and you're gonna be fine.
You're not gonna be hurt.
No.
You know.
especially after a little rain like we had last week.
Oh, it was, as I said, it was like chocolate cake.
like
Yeah.
chocolate.
Yeah.
Hear this stretch? Like chocolate.
Stop
cake.
saying chocolate.
Chocolate cake. It was like
chocolate.
No, it was
It was
not.
like
it was.
double
It was
chocolate.
like dirt. It was like muddy dirt. Is what it,
It was
like. you
perfect. It
a-holes.
wasn't. It wasn't muddy though. It was clumpy
Yeah.
but dry and
Wet
yet
dirt with
fluffy
Like just you and Sarge there
With the-
and a chocolate cake.
and no dust.
That
And
rich-
no
with
dust.
that rich frosting.
like you just bite into it. No one's looking.
Yeah.
It's like
I eat a whole chocolate cake. I don't give an F.
that's what I'm talking about.
Of course you would.
I'm
Hey.
trying to put you in there.
What,
you know?
have you guys followed Dean Wilson at all lately?
I
on
always follow.
IG?
I always follow Dino on the Facebooks.
He's had a photo or a most recent post and it said, frustrating couple of weeks and I'm still getting used to the bike. I'm like, dude, we're freaking 2 weeks from
That's because
freaking Supercross.
Is he riding?
Yeah.
That's right.
Yeah.
He's
You know
on
what?
the Honda.
You want to know the trick to all of
because he's
this?
riding a Honda.
And it,
Those are mean bikes.
I'm going to be honest with you guys. The trick to all of this for a lot of these riders, and it's the same thing with golfers, is they get so wrapped up in the track riding experience, they've forgotten really how to have fun, how to just ride, how to go out and just free ride and have a good day and enjoy the ride. It's always about times and laps and speed.
Right.
And,
Well, it's their job.
that's the thing,
Right.
though, is sometimes to be better at your job, you got to kind of walk away for a little bit, clear your head, and have a clearer approach. These guys never clear their
No,
heads.
they need to drink a mango cart and chill.
They're also racing year round now.
They race all year round, and they're always going.
Yeah.
And so with Dino on a new bike, he went from a chromoly, forgiving, soft,
That's
easy
the thing.
frame
onto a
to
rigid,
ride onto a
freaking
rigid
rocket horse, bro.
Yeah.
You know?
The Hondas,
Yeah.
you have to have your head on a swivel. I mean, when I call it a head on a swivel, I mean you literally have to have eyes in the back of your head on that Honda.
You have to
because
have
it is
bobble
fast.
head with like
Yeah.
stable GoPro eyes.
Yeah, it is fast. The Honda is fast, and it is very rigid, and it will tip on you, and you will Pete Rose into situations you never thought you Pete Rosed in. And the only way to get comfortable on that bike, on any aluminum frame bike, is to go out and free ride it.
It's time.
Yeah, for most people, just make it softer, like a little
Well,
softer travel. I think.
There is certain things on the suspension you got to do,
Couple
but
things, get your bars up,
The
you know.
reality is you also just have to know the machine. You have to be comfortable riding it. The guys that ride them the best are the guys that actually pleasurably ride them.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, and there's the guys too that are top level riders that look like they're fighting that bike all the way around the track, and then there's the guys like Roxon that look like, wow, it's effortless.
I saw a picture of Sexton's Works bike, bro, the other day, and I went, like, that's the bike. That's one. That's a winning bike right there.
Dude, that bike's badass.
oh yeah. But this is his year to shine.
Yeah.
You know what's weird?
Chase is gonna shine this year.
Everyone's
Suzukis
saying
are cool.
Everyone's saying a foregone conclusion that Chase is going to shred in Supercross, and the fact that that's never happened before has me still thinking I'm going to wait and see.
Supercross is
taking the wait and see.
Supercross is technique,
and he crashes. That's his
and
technique in Supercross.
Everybody who is
Traditionally.
in Supercross will admit to you that it is complete technique.
Yeah, and rhythm and
it is
yeah.
a timed technique sport. The 450s, they're not using an
He
ounce of those.
doesn't need any of that 450.
Yeah, you're not using the power at all because the tracks are way too small. But what you are doing is you're mastering the technique and the timing, and it's the getting the rhythm down and doing it.
Yeah.
And when you get a guy like Sexton,
The rhythm is the dancer.
who's had a problem in the past of staying on the machine, now I think he's mastered that. I really
That
do.
was outdoor, and it's very different beast. I want to
think-
see him do it in Supercross.
I think at the
before
end of
I think
last
this.
year, in Supercross, he was already starting to show everybody, look what I can do.
Yeah,
and
Honda's a Supercross
Well,
bike.
he had his
Yeah.
first overall win on the 450s last year.
But
Yeah.
Honda's a Supercross bike.
Supercross.
Rigid in those in like you said, like in those areas.
Yeah.
That's the bike to have, bro.
It is. Oh, it is an amazing machine, but you have to be on point. You can't make mistakes on aluminum bikes.
Right.
Aluminum bikes don't give you any room to make mistakes. Whereas a chromoly frame, you can make all kinds of fudgy little errors, and you can get cross-threaded, and you can do all kinds of funny, cool little things on those chromoly bikes, and they will give
back
and
to
give you all kinds of leeway. You've got rope to hang yourself. On the aluminum bikes, you have no rope.
Right.
I got a new moto product I'm going to get Dean Wilson to be the spokesperson for.
What's that?
Nerf foot pegs.
Nice.
Yeah, after Dino got his ass sliced last year. Yeah, Nerf foot pegs. Look, they don't hurt you.
That was an ouchie. That was an ouchie, boo
Oh,
man. He got
boy.
douched by that foot peg last year, and that ripped him literally.
Oh, good comedy behind it though.
It tore the ass out of him. It literally did.
Literally tore the ass out of him. At the same time, Dino's one of those guys that we should invite over to the radio station sometime just to go free riding with us. Because I think he would have a blast next to the radio station.
I think Bradley Slums would try to jump our building.
He's already talked about it.
Bradley is
Yeah.
so cool. He would probably show us a thing or three, but the problem with Bradley is he'll take it to such a level that we would probably
Yeah.
have the
Popo?
authorities here.
Yeah.
Because
When a guy's flying 200 or 300 feet in the air over a house structure, that's an issue.
he literally said he has to be 400 feet to pull a chute.
Oh no, he said on your driveway.
Yeah. He was like, yeah, I could do it. I could do it with my launch ramp. I have to be 400 feet to pull the chute.
Yeah, this is plenty.
And so I have to be at least 45 to 50 miles an hour to get to 400 feet
Oh,
on
he
my
could
ramp.
get that. He could get that coming. There's easy to get the speed, but I was thinking how he'd get the altitude, but
And a
with
lot
his
of
ramp,
times
he'd
it's
do it
the area that he does it.
No, he would ramp
You know?
it right off. So you,
right off the cliff.
Right.
Because a
the
lot of
cliff.
times he'll
Yeah.
do it in like public land where you can actually like go ride. That's where he picks spots to go do this. So he doesn't
boy.
get in trouble, you know.
I cringe every time I watch that dude's videos. I watch it, I'm like, dude, that's so badass. Oh my God, that's crazy. Every time.
he is a next level. But at the same time, I will say this about Bradley: super nice guy.
Also very calculated and smart about what he does.
Well, him and Claire both. They're both human calculators. If you look at both of them, they're both doing equations and trig equations in their head, constantly going, okay, I got to take into the wind. I got to take into this. There's a Coriolis effect. I got to do this.
Yeah.
You know, they're always just doing math in their heads. Yeah. So both of them are really, really smart people.
Us bookies do that too.
Yeah,
Always crunching the numbers.
well, you're crunching numbers on odds. You're just doing odds numbers, which odds numbers are formulas, and that you can memorize that. You can't.
I know he's like Rain Man. Oh yeah, I'll give you 5 to 1. 5 to 1 on that. Definitely 5 to 1.
21.
Yeah,
Right.
you can't. Odds you can formula and just spit that out.
Yeah.
As far as what Bradley does, you cannot
No.
formula
No,
in
that's
every single time.
calculations.
There's a formula for it, and then you have to have the root calculation in order to figure out how
And
high
wind
to
and
get.
everything else
Yeah.
too.
There's so many
To
factors.
save the bike, you know, and all.
Yeah.
everything
Sometimes
else
he
that's going
cares
on.
about saving the bike. Sometimes he's not. I mean, the times I talked to Bradley and I said,
Oh,
"So
well, yeah, for sure. But still,
name a
he's
situation."
still
He goes,
planning that stuff.
He
too,
goes,
though.
sometimes I'll just buy a Craigslist bike knowing that I'm going to trash it.
Yeah.
He goes, I'll go to Craigslist. I'll get the cheapest POS I can get it going fast, get it good, and I'll dispose of it because it's for the video.
Yeah.
And so hit it, throw
Wow.
it, and hit the chute and go. But if it's a bike I want to save, like his Honda or his Husky, or any of those special bikes like that CBR 1000 that he built, those bikes, yeah, he wants to save the bike. He'll put a chute on it.
Yeah.
And it's
Nice.
he makes a calculated decision to do that. But then there's bikes like he'll go out and get an old XR200 for $50 on Craigslist and literally send it, and the bike will go ragdoll.
I haven't talked to him for a while, but every once in a while he calls up and gets a head pipe or gets like
Yeah.
radiator or something. But it's always small, like
Something
it's when
small
the
where the
ball
bike landed hard.
landed and then it just like fell over and dung it up, a little ding.
Dude, I'm watching a video right now from Bradley's page. He had a link to a YouTube video, and it's a band called Rise Against, and it's a video, and there's a dude
We
riding
play
a
Rise
motorcycle.
Against. We play Rise Against on the Big 49.
I have a feeling this is Bradley doing all the motorcycle stuff because it's a link from Bradley's page, and the song is called Pain Management, and there's a dude on a dirt bike doing like robbing people and doing crazy stuff, and I got a feeling that dude on the dirt bike would be Mr. Bradley Slomes because it's a link from his thing, which makes me think that.
Let's see here.
It's a cool video.
Let's
It's called
see.
Pain Management, and this dude is out, and he's cutting to a place right now where I'm thinking he's about to parachute off the side of a cliff.
Really?
Yeah, he's hauling ass on the dirt bike. Whoever the guy is that just stole stuff.
I mean, I got all kinds
They're,
of. I got.
they're
Remember
chasing
when-
him with a drone.
Remember, like when I first came into the studio too. Like
Yep.
that's when I met Bradley, and we were helping him. Still
Yeah.
are, But, I remember that was such a big deal because then all of a sudden that Tom Cruise came and came
Yeah,
out. Remember that?
yeah.
And then all
Where
of a sudden
Tom was doing that exact thing.
That exact thing, like immediately, like a couple
Yeah.
months later,
Yeah.
like they were like jumped all over that and like.
Oh no, he's an innovator. He is an innovator.
Yeah.
150%. He is a full innovator, and he is good at what he does.
He is.
I would say out of everybody in that,
Childhood dream, bro.
I would say out of everybody who's in that freestyle sport, element, he's the most innovative out of everybody. I mean, as far as he's not playing the commercial game, he doesn't come from wealth. He doesn't have anybody that's, being his financial backer all the time. He just goes out and does it. He says, literally, I'm just going to do what I do, and if you want to be involved with it, great. If you
Oh
don't,
yeah,
you don't.
dude. Bradley does a full-on base jump with the bike at the end
Yeah.
of the video.
He-
It's badass.
He will do what he wants to do, regardless of what anybody else thinks. Because honestly, if you went to Honda corporate and said, "By the way, I want to start slingshotting your motorcycles over cliffs," Honda
Yeah.
would go, "F you. We want nothing to do with you. We want nothing to do with you."
HYR took him right on.
Well, HYR could
Come
have.
on in.
I was gonna say HYR could afford it as a dealership, but Honda corporate would have never done that. That's so not their style.
No,
They would jump
it
away
just
from
worked.
that.
It worked for everybody at that time. He needed to be safe too, and he needed a bike to do that.
Yeah.
And luckily we hopped in that spot. Man.
Yeah, I mean Husqvarna is more, I think, corporately behind that like, oh, you're gonna do this, you're gonna jump off of a cliff with our bike, and it may not come back. I don't know. Okay. I mean, throw a couple bikes at that. That sounds like a good idea. They'll actually be flexible with it. Whereas a company like Honda or even Yamaha, no.
No, nobody's gonna let their bike get trashed.
No, I would say Husqvarna, KTM, Gas. They are actually open to the idea. You could
What about
actually,
Triumph?
Triumph is
There isn't one.
okay. So you
That's
want
a trick question.
no? Do you want some real Triumph dirt? Do you want some real Triumph
No,
dirt?
I do not. I don't believe anything coming out of anyone's mouth. I'm looking at you, Ricky Carmichael.
Oh,
Okay.
The
I'm
Billy
gonna-
Goat lies.
I'm going to give you
Now we're
real
name dropping.
Triumph dirt. Okay. The real Triumph dirt is this. They've had NDAs out since 2020 on that bike. That bike has been floating
Liar!
around. Nope, it's been floating
I've never
around
seen
all
it.
around Europe.
and
It's-
I am plugged into the moto community.
It's been floating around Europe, and various test riders have ridden it. They've published a lot of data on it. But here's the trick. And this is something I know on the inside, only because I know a person who knows a person who knows a person. Okay? It's one of those deals.
Is the person a hooker?
No, the untold truth on this is that KTM, Husqvarna consulted on that motorcycle, and nobody was supposed to really talk about that.